What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video, reacting to Joe Bonamassa, the blues guitar mastery of Stevie Ray Vaughan by Guitar World. So what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be reacting to Joe Bonamassa, the blues guitar mastery of Stevie Ray Vaughan by Guitar World. As always, if you've not already subscribed to Guitar World, please go ahead and do so. And also, I've included the link to the original video in the description below. Please go there, click on the original video, give it a like. And on this video, my video, leave a comment on what you'd like to see me react to next. And without any further ado, let us be getting to it.
I'm still winging at hard times, smiling at the pouring rain.
Hey guys, Joe Bonamassa here in the ye old museum in Nerdville, West California. And it's been brought to my attention that of all the lessons and all these videos that we've
seriously, let's just take in all that wonderful amp tubey goodness around there. Oh my God, look at that! I see like an old Bassman head. I see what looks like to be a Fender Twin. Oh yeah, look at oh yeah. Sorry, that's a lot of nice toys. That's a real lot of nice toys.
shot here for Guitar World magazine that we've never talked about Stevie Ray Vaughan. Oh my God, as being a child of the 70s, you know, 1982, there was two guys that changed the game. Well, at least for me. On the rock side was Eddie Van Halen, because that just came out of nowhere and just took the world by storm. And the other guy was Stevie Ray Vaughan, who came out of Austin, Texas, and was just wielding an old Strat and a Fender amp and just set the stun and just changed the game. And we all play like Stevie. We all have this thing that kind of brings us to Texas Flood, you know, and you know, couldn't stand the weather and in step. I mean, all that stuff, soul to soul, was the first time I heard a Hammond organ, you know, played like that. And it turned out to be Reese Winans, who's been in my band 10 years. How about that? So I'm so honored and blessed to play with Reese and you know, Chris Layton still plays with Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and those guys are still out there playing great music. Double trouble, you know. Today we're playing an old Strat finished in candy apple red.
Ooh, what up with that bridge? That bridge cover's kind of interesting looking. That's pretty interesting to say the very least. Huh.
At the Fullerton factory in 1964, and there's a little twist. 64. It's a hardtail, so no trem. So I don't really use the tremolo bar much, and the Strats that I do have that have bars, I put them in Ziploc bags and stick them in the case, because every time I hand a very nice old Strat to someone and they take the bar and they think they're trying to play Eruption and you know running.
That's one thing that I've always said about Fender style trems or any non-Floyd Rose style trem, even Bigsby's for the most part for me. I don't trust them as far as tuning stability goes. I never have. I've only just recently, in the last few years, finally got into the idea of Floyd Rose's. That's because I also discovered the Tremolo, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing if you got a Floyd Rose. I don't know if you could potentially use it with the Fender style trems too. You might be able to. I don't know. But yeah, myself, I've always been the same way. Those type, you know, even a little bit of vibrato, I don't trust them to come back in tune properly. And one of the last things I ever want to worry about in an instrument is tuning stability. So myself, I always wanted, so I'm totally with Joe there, 1,000,000% all day long.
with the Devil from, Van Halen. And, if you've ever broken a bass metal bar off of one of these tremolo blocks, it is not a nice feeling because you're just having the time of your life and then boom, and you're holding it in your hand. Anyway, and I'm playing through this Lowell George amp with the bright switch on because that's what it's going to sound best at. And, when I first heard Stevie, I heard licks like,
tone, baby.
and I said, well, that's, a combination of like Albert King and Hendrix and Stevie, and I mean, El Macambo was
essentially he was, taking the part of what the bass player would normally do there. Throwing in some string mutes, doing the walking bass line that the bass player would do, which, would double it or do something else. But yeah, Stevie took all of the old school style of blues, put it together, still gave it respect with giving it a twist of his own, which is a very difficult thing to do because blues is traditional music. And if you take it and if you change it too much, a lot of the blues purists will say, well, that's not blues anymore. I don't know how, but Stevie Ray Vaughan was able to take, just much like Joe said over here, all the older styles of blues players, mix them up, give it a little bit of his own flavor, but still keep it traditional, pay homage to the greats, keep it respectful, and to have everybody still go, yes, this is blues. This kid is awesome when he was a kid back in the day. Yeah, it was a rare thing.
Those slides. I mean, it changed the world for me. And it was the tone, it was the phrasing, this infinite amount of ideas that he had with a very simple toolkit. He had a Strat, a couple of odd reverbs, a tube screamer, and a wah, and it was just had it together. And his rig got more complicated as it went on, but like those original, I know Jackson Browne let him use the Dumble for Texas Flood. There's
one thing that I remember hearing quite often about Stevie Ray Vaughan, and one of the things how he got his tone, is he used seriously heavy gauge strings, 12s, and at one point even 13s. And he actually liked having his action kind of high. He says that kind of string and that amount of tension because, he had the tube screamer going, but he wasn't cranking the hell out of the gain. Just enough just to give that fizzle, that edge of breakup kind of tone. And apparently, from what he said, that gave him a large edge on his tone. So if you really want that Stevie Ray Vaughan tone and you've got really low action and you're using 9s, 8s, or even 10s, got to get a minimum of 12s, if not 13s. 13s. Yikes. I would use 12s on acoustic tuned to E flat. That's acoustics tuned to E flat. Myself, I always tune E flat, 435, if you will. I always tune down one semitone. It's got nothing to do with the reason that Stevie Ray Vaughan did, to the best of my knowledge. I did it because to accommodate my male baritone voice and just keep all my guitars and basses set up that way because I'm used to them. So because of that, I use 10 gauges on electrics and 12s on acoustic. If I were to be playing in standard tunings, I'd use 9s on my electrics and maybe 11 on acoustic. But for me, it's all about how the tension and the feel is. I don't want it too light, but I don't want to play 13 gauges on an electric. My God, with the way and how aggressive he would play and how he would bend. my fingertips are getting sore just thinking about that. My word.
There's a lot of guys that do Stevie better than I do. But you know, the influence and the simple ideas and the implementation of this, the green box.
Yep.
Okay. This is a 1982 Tube Screamer. And when you can hear it, because he would set his amp kind of clean, distorted, and then you can hear when he hit this. And I was like, oh, that's the coolest. I want one of those Tube Screamers. And my first Tube Screamer was I'm showing my age now. It was an OG TS10, 1988. And then I found one of these, which are the original ones. And, you know, I spent many hours in my room just jamming along, you know, to Tim Penn Alley, you know.
One of the biggest elements to Stevie Ray's tone, and almost every blues guitarist that came after Stevie Ray Vaughan that was influenced by them, is a Tube Screamer. Preferably the old 808 if you can get your hands on one. Or there's reissues of the 808s, but a lot of the purists are like, no, you need a real 808. Doesn't matter. But no, the Tube Screamer is a huge part of the Stevie Ray tone. That and a Strat with 12 to 13 gauge strings. Yowza.
You know, and that phrasing and that tone and just the overall approach. It just, you know, because back in 1982, 83, you know, everybody was playing pointy guitars, like Edward would play, and you know, it's Stevie and Eric Johnson. They were the vintage guys, and I was just like, oh, that's just the coolest in the world. And I encourage you to go down those rabbit holes, and I also encourage you to investigate Scuttlebutt.
Scuttlebutt.
There's many challenges.
I was actually just talking to my guitar technician the other day, not even a week ago. I was talking to my guitar tech, Jay, and I was picking up my custom build after the last round of modifications to it. And I was talking about how Stevie Ray, I'm like, yeah, you know, Stevie Ray, a lot of his stuff, it's not the most technical to play. Like, there's a lot of people that can play it. It's not that it's technically easy, but he's not like playing John Petrucci or playing, you know, Yngwie Malmsteen or Paul Gilbert. Him, it's all about, you know, the soul, the tone, the phrasing. He played one note and he just put such into it. But Jay, my guitar tech, was like, yeah, but there's very few people that can play Scuttlebutt the right way. He did mention about Scuttlebutt. He's like, yeah, okay, there is a certain thing to the way Scuttlebutt is done and that only Stevie Ray could do it. You might have to spend some serious time. That one does have some technical, okay, WTF moments going on in it. I wasn't trying to say that he was not technically good. I'm just saying he wasn't technical focused. Look at me, look at how fast I'm playing, type of Yngwie Malmsteen, type of John Petrucci guitar playing. And I'm not saying that's all that those guys do either. I think you guys know what I'm saying. And I think even Jay, my guitar tech, knew what I was playing. But that was the example that he gave, was Scuttlebutt.
Out there, then that was one of the first songs I listened to as a kid. It was on Couldn't Stand the Weather. I was like, what? That's got to be sped up. Nobody can play that fast. And I was like, oh, he played it. And so yeah, Stevie was a huge influence on me, and still is a huge influence on me. And there's not a show that goes by that I don't quote him, especially if I'm playing Stratocaster. Thank you.
Okay, that was reacting to Joe Bonamassa, The Blues Guitar Mastery of Stevie Ray Vaughan by Guitar World. As per usual, if you've not already subscribed to Guitar World, go and give them a sub right now. Go to the description in this video here down below. I've included the link to the original video. Please click on the link and give the original video a like, a nice thumbs up. And on this video, my video, leave a comment on what you'd like to see me reacting to next. Thanks for checking out this video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, Click the notification bell, like, comment, and share. It doesn't cost a thing and would really help out the channel. Also, please subscribe to my other channel, GK Mac Music, for some live looping live streams with a side of jackassery, some original music, and some short content, also with a side of jackassery. If you'd like to help out the channel financially, you can buy some merch at the merch store, or you can become a channel member. As always, everyone, thanks so much for your continued support. Do what makes you happy.